blind on this wonderful January graduation day. We had some great weather. This particular class, this is a brave group to be willing to come to New York in January, and they lucked out. They got lucky this January. We had some beautiful weather, including today. So before I bring the class in, I'd just like to take a moment to thank all of the puppy raisers and donors and staff that have made this possible. A big round of applause for you all. And we are streaming this graduation ceremony live online, so I'd like to offer a big welcome to those of you that are watching online. And these, in addition to live stream, this will be recorded and available for future viewing on our website. At this time, I'm going to bring in the 7 students who were involved in our 3-week residential program, who stayed with us for the past 3 weeks. First, we have Mr. Alan Lau from Malden, Massachusetts, with Walton. Brian Switzer of Northeastern Massachusetts with Intrigue. Kathy Beater of Cortland Manor, New York with Noya. I guess the rest of them are enjoying the nice weather. And next we have Mr. Henry Tucker of New York, New York. And Henry with his beautiful new guide dog, Dakota. And here we have Christy Snackenberg of Middletown, New York with Judith. Angela Bambry of Front Royal, Virginia with Finley. And Tina Witherspoon of Arlington, Virginia with Yarrow. Now, in addition to our 3-week residential program that we're the 7 graduates from our residential program that we're celebrating today, we're also celebrating 3 graduates from our home training programs, 2 from our home training department and 1 from our special needs department. And those graduates are Carol Perkins of Blackstone, Virginia with Barton. Patricia Harp of Jacksonville, Florida with Treasure. And Samuel McLean of Stockbridge, Georgia with Pete. And the instructor staff, I'd like to ask them to stand up right now. So we have Michelle Tang and Shannon McGee. They were responsible for training the dogs that you see in front of you, as well as the graduates on how to work smoothly with the dogs over the last 3 weeks. Being a residential program instructor, it's very challenging. They're here for 3 weeks, spending a lot of nights here, a lot of time away from their families. So a big round of applause for Michelle and Shannon. I'd also like to extend a big thank you to our Class IA, Deanna Lentini, who is, in addition to keeping things running smoothly for us, she also was responsible for taking a lot of the pictures you saw in the slideshow. So Deanna, stand up. Thank you, Deanna. And then lastly, I'd like to thank the home training instructors who spent 10 days to 2 weeks away from home, living in a hotel while they train the graduates who we're celebrating today. And that is Chrissy Vetrano, Megan Crowley, and special needs instructor Julie Angle. And at this time, I'd like to invite our president and CEO up to the podium, Mr. Thomas Panic.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Guiding Eyes for the Blind. I'm very pleased that you are all able to join us today at this very special occasion. You know, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank a lot of people in the room today, but I'm going to start with our graduation sponsors who sponsored this very event that we're attending today. So I'd like to start by thanking the Westchester Council of the Blind. You know, you guys made a lot of noise earlier, so a warm round of applause for you guys for sponsoring the graduation. And I don't know if anybody knows much about this organization. Becky, who's on staff here, Ron Davidson, and a bunch of other people participate in this organization, including Kathy, and they're very instrumental in making sure that this county has accessible pedestrian signals and other things that are important for us people as we go through living, working, and learning without sight. So thank you very, very much for the hard work that you do. I'd like to also thank the Rudge and Wheel families. A warm round of applause for sponsoring graduation. Thank you. They share with us the inspiring words of Henry Thoreau. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. Beautiful words. The Puppy Raiser of Noya is also a sponsor. Noya is graduating today with her partner, Kathy. Hold the applause. A warm round of applause for Sarah Belinsky. Woo! Thank you so much, Sarah. Now, we do have two graduate speakers that will be speaking today, Angela and Tina, and we'll hear from them about their experiences. I'm very much looking forward to that. Angela has Finley, as we've heard, and Angela lives in Virginia with her husband and 3 children. Angela has been partnered with the male yellow lab named Finley, her second guide dog. And she attended Mary Baldwin College and graduated with a double class. As you know, the more coffee, the more communications happens, right? And Angela, we know you're looking forward to keeping up with your 3 kids and not being concerned about uneven and craft pavement or trekking across a grassy playground, all that stuff you have to do with kids, I know, because we have 4. We'll also hear from Tina and Yarrow, the very first dog, Tina, right? And Tina and I were talking at lunch the other day, and she said she's getting used to it and enjoying it, except for the dog Juice. I think that's drool, but we'll take Juice, right? So looking forward to hearing her speech, Tina. We have another very, very special recognition, and graduates, I'm going to ask you to stay seated, but for the rest of the people in the room, this is Ben Cowley's last class, and the reason is because he's joining my management team as Director of Admissions. Ben, could you please come up here for a second? I don't often ask for a standing ovation, but if you in the audience could stand, this man has done so much to make the school what it is today. Thank you so much, Ben. And we have here a Guiding Eyes mug as well as a small puppy dog in it to remind him of all the classes that he's taught. Let him sit at his desk and drink coffee and remember all of the dogs that he's trained over his career since he's come from Guide Dogs for the Blind to join us here at Guiding Eyes. How many years ago?
4 years now.
4 years, and has been doing a great job. And we'll be succeeding Bev Clayman in that very important role, getting graduates as well as students to come to our school for the first time and repeating. So thank you so much, Ben, for your leadership. Yeah. All right, now for a short story, and I won't take up too much time, but while you graduates were in class working so hard, I know you were snowed in. Gus and I got snowed in. Now there's another Gus in the room. Do you know that? Rita, where are you? So Rita has a dog named Gus, so we have 2 Gus's, Gus. So I'm going to have to be careful. I'm talking about this Gus. And Gus and I got stuck in Utah. And we were out in Utah, a little bit of business. And when I got to the airport, Gus safely navigated me to the airport, I got to the front check-in desk, and he made it through the ropes and got me very diligently and, waited for his treat and sat there down by the United check-in counter, to which they said, everything is canceled. You're stuck for the next 4 days until Tuesday. So the rest of the people were sitting around, huffing and puffing on their cell phones, upset, and I said, I have a guide dog. I will never be stuck again. So we poked around on my accessible iPhone, and I found out that the snowstorm that many of you got did not hit up north, right? For those of you living up north, you know that, right? I talked earlier. It hit the south, Virginia, where a couple of our graduates are going, right? Got hit pretty hard. But 3 feet, in fact, I think, right, Angela? Is that what you were saying? But we didn't get much up north, so I ended up flying, getting on the plane. Gus safely navigated me onto the plane. Landed in Chicago, one of the world's busiest airports. Safely navigated through Chicago's airport, where I rested overnight, one night, to the adjacent hotel that was attached to the terminal, about a 2-mile walk. Got me back to the plane, 6 a.m. We went to Boston. In Boston, he safely navigated me through the airport. Exited the airport, took a taxi cab to the train station, safely navigated me through the platform. We're not going to tell the trainers what he did on the platform, because by then he really needed to go. Got me onto the Amtrak train, and then I really needed to go. So he sat down next to the door, because those train, vestibules are very small. And a couple of passengers were watching him as he sat patiently for him. As soon as I came out of the restroom, he picked up his leash, so happy to see me, and I got a lot of comments about how patient he was. 3 train carts forward to the food cart. You know what it's like to go in between a train, opening that door and hopping over as the tracks go below you. Thank God I can't see. He didn't mind at all. These dogs are so well socialized to different situations, thanks to you puppy raisers, that he was able to successfully navigate right to that food cart. And we know our Labradors. They do follow the nose. Got my food, went back to my seat, arrived in Stamford to about 18, 20 inches of snow. It was illegal to drive in New York. We snuck through Connecticut. I got picked up, and I was able to get home just in time for my wife, Melissa, who's here today, to tell me to shovel the walk. So. Good boy Gus is right. So class, I know that some of you who've had a guide dog before understand the importance of the independence and mobility that your guide dogs will provide you here from Guiding Eyes. And for those of you getting your guide dog for the very first time, once you're over the dog juice, you will be able to never be stuck again. So congratulations and a warm round of applause. I'd like to introduce a person who makes this all possible, oversees our entire training department. More than 70 people who are dedicated to training these guide dogs, and that is Kathy Zabricki. Kathy?
Thank you, Tom, and welcome everyone to this very happy occasion. And I'd like to, just to show of hands, how many people are here for the first time? Wow. You're in for a very special experience, and I'm sure as when you leave here, you'll have a better understanding or a greater understanding of how many people it really takes to make this day a reality. So welcome, and I'd like to ask all our puppy raisers to please stand up. Excuse me if I get a little emotional for a moment, but you're truly extraordinary people, and you've given an extraordinary gift by opening your hearts and your homes to a Guiding Eyes puppy for someone you had yet to meet, but you knew needed you, and we're so grateful to all of you. Thank you. Guiding Eyes for the Blind enjoys a very good reputation in the national and international field as one of the premier guide dog schools, and that wouldn't be so without our talented, dedicated, and compassionate training staff. So Michelle, Shannon, and Ben, you emulate all those attributes and so much more. Thank you so much for what you've done to make this class so successful. And Deanna, of course, this class, has been mentioned, would not have operated so smoothly or functioned so efficiently without your assistance and your very cheerful attitude. So thank you for all you've done to make this class successful. Your help has been invaluable. Thank you. And to the graduates, on behalf of the entire Guiding Ice staff, congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Learning how to work with a guide dog, whether you're coming for your first dog or a successor dog, is not always easy, is it? But you've worked very hard in mastering the skills needed to communicate and work with your dog effectively. But not only that, but to develop the relationship with your guide dog, which makes the rest possible. So as you prepare to go home, please know that we will always be here to share in your successes and support you in any way possible, for you are now part of our Guiding Eyes family. So a nice round of applause for our January 2016 graduating class. And I'd like to share a little bit of a conversation I had with yesterday with our graduate, Alan. And he said to me, Kathy, if I could say to Guiding Eyes 1,000 times thank you, it wouldn't be enough. And so it is true here. If I could say to all of you 1,000 times thank you, it would not be enough. Such is the depth of our gratitude to each and every one of you. And I know you'll enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. At this time, I'd like to invite some of our graduates to come up and speak. And the first graduate that's going to speak to us today is Tina Witherspoon. So Tina, can you come on up to the podium?
For many years, I have been legally blind and traveled successfully with a cane. About 3 years ago, I went completely blind. So my family and friends thought it would be a good idea for me to pursue getting a guide dog. But I felt that it should be a decision that I made for myself. During the time of trying to make the decision, I was able to be exposed to an experienced team of a guide dog and a handler. My supervisor, Frank, about 1.5 years ago, contacted Guiding Eyes to receive his third dog. So I was able to observe what is involved in taking care of a guide dog and to see how the dog enhanced Frank's travels. So I decided to contact Guiding Eyes. My first week at Guiding Eyes was very interesting. I never had a dog before. I've never had a dog before, so the idea of getting used to the dog saliva, the hair everywhere, was interesting. Not to mention, a few days after I received the dog, I got to know my dog's personality. She's very independent, and I felt every day she told me, "You're not the boss of me." So I was quite overwhelmed the first week. I even seriously contemplated getting on the first plane back to Virginia. Of course, that wouldn't have allowed me to rise to the challenge of learning how to use a guide dog. My classmates, all 6 of them, were very supportive. They would encourage me and they understood my feelings. So they would support me with whatever decision I made. The team of experienced trainers and their assistant was very kind and patient. We worked very hard together, and we had a lot of laughs. But what really added to my experience here at Guiding Eyes was to receive a gift from my puppy raisers, Susan and Jack. Unfortunately, they're not able to be here today, but I'm sure they're watching. So thank you so very much for all your hard work and effort so that I can have this dog with me. So it was the network of all the puppy raisers, the experienced team of trainers in the first graduating class of 2016 is the reason why I'm here today. So I am going home tomorrow, but I'm not going home alone. I'm going home with my first dog, and more importantly, my first guide dog, Yarrow, from Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Thank you.
Beautifully said, Tina. Thank you. So Yara's going to go back to sharing a cubicle with a German Shepherd guide dog, and they should have a lot of fun together. Next, I'd like to invite Angela to come up and say a few words. Come on up, Angela.
Finley knows how to relax. Well, this is my second time at Guiding Eyes. My first time I was here in August of 2000, and I got my dog, and it was a wonderful experience. I went straight off from here directly to college, and we negotiated steps because Mary Baldwin College had steps and steps and steps and steps and cobblestone. And so if I hadn't had her, I would have probably poked myself in the stomach lots of times with my cane. But so she helped me negotiate that. And then she walked down the altar with me when I got married to my high school sweetheart. And she also came along for the ride when I had my 3 kids, Gregory, Lucy, and Claire. And we took long road trips down to Florida, and she got to enjoy some of the beach. We also flew across the country and negotiated the airport, which it's a lot easier negotiating airport with a guide dog than it is a cane. And she went to Idaho when I went to see my mom. We made lots of memories and had lots of life events together, and you just never know where life can take you. But I found it a lot easier to do with my guide dog. So 15 and a half years have passed, and I finally decided it's time for me to come back and get another guide dog. Well, I only wanted to come one place, and that's Guiding Eyes. And that was because it's awesome here. And so I told my mom, it's like, I want to go to Guiding Eyes. I'm going to go back. And she's like, oh, enjoy your vacation. I was just like, well, because it's so awesome here. It's a place full of heart. I came and it's like I was at home, except it's easier. I mean, I did lots of training and all, but there were so many people who cared and basically loved you while you were here. The food staff, the people who took care of the food, they're so sweet. They're like, can I take care of your orange for you? I was like, oh, yes. Do you need more coffee? And I would say, yes, please. And everybody else in class, no, she can't have any more. No more coffee for her. Coffee has a weird effect. Also, the nursing staff, I wasn't going to get sick, and so I didn't think I needed them, but unfortunately, I did. And they were wonderful. They took excellent care of me. And Michelle even had a can of chicken noodle soup. And so I had chicken noodle soup when I was sick. It was very sweet. And I felt very well cared for, where as at home, I might just have to crawl out of bed and down the stairs and get my own chicken noodle soup. So Also, there's magic fairies who come in and clean your room here. So, and the love that goes into the puppies before they're even here. I've only had Finley for 2.5 weeks, but I can't imagine parting with him. It's like it's incredible. I couldn't do it, so I'm so grateful. It's all it's like a bunch of fairy dust. But I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. The training the dogs go into, I know that I was going to get a dog who was well trained. The trainers know these dogs, know their personalities, and I knew that whatever dog I got was going to fit me very well, and I was going to mix well with, and the trainer was going to be able to basically train me too. I needed to learn, and so I knew that Guiding Eyes had everything I needed, and it was going to be awesome. And after I left here, and when I leave, I know I will have the confidence with Finley by my side to go and to walk across that playground and not fall off the edge. And I'm very grateful that I got to come back for another guide dog. It's been a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Well said. We cut Angela off this morning at about 7:30. No more coffee. So. Yeah, earlier than that. At this time, I would like to ask a member of our puppy raising team to come up, and we're going to Kate Schroer-Shepherd, who's one of our regional managers, and Kate is going to help me present to the puppy raisers their photographs and certificates of appreciation. Come on up, Kate.
Hello, everyone. Happy afternoon. So I'm Kate Schroer-Shepherd. I'm a regional manager for the puppy program, and I'm representing our Canine Development Center, where all these little guys got their start about almost 2 years ago now. And just to let you guys know, from the very beginning when these dogs were born, there are so many people that have their hands on them to help give them the start that gets them to today. I believe we have about 1,400 dedicated volunteers, and that includes people that are helping when the puppies are just a couple days old, all the way to our puppy raisers, the people that are there with us on the day that they drop off their dogs back to Guiding Eyes. So the quote that it takes a village, it takes more like a city these days to get these dogs to this place. And of course, we want to extend our gratitude to the puppy raisers who make the ultimate donations with their time and energy. The work that they choose to put into these dogs is unbelievable. For those of you that are here today celebrating a graduation of one of your dogs, this is that moment that when we handed you that puppy, we held so carefully in our hearts the possibility that today could be real, and that the energy that you guys put in and the time that you gave to these dogs was invaluable. And we do thank you. It's not possible without you guys. And for so many of you who have done this so many times, it really is unbelievable the energy that you guys have to do this. And for those that this is their first time doing it, can you even believe that you got here? It's amazing, right? So really, just a round of applause to all you guys for those hard work that you've done. All right. And if anybody in the audience is curious about puppy raising, please come see me after the graduation ceremony. So with each graduating dog, we're going to be giving a family member a photo of the dog, accompanying with this lovely certificate, which I know many people like to put on their walls. They have a wall of success. So when I call out your family's name, which I probably will destroy your last name, I already warned everybody about that, right? We're going to ask that one person come up from each family to take your photo and certificate. All right? And again, not everybody's able to be here, so I'll make sure to let the graduates know if unfortunately your raiser's not able to be in attendance today. Okay, let's get started. Get ready to clap a lot, guys. All right, so for Guiding Eyes Dakota, we have Faith Stiles from Monroe, New York. There's Faith. And also for Dakota, we have Christy Murphy and family, also from Monroe, New York. Oh, right next to her, perfect. Great, and for Finley, we have Katie, I want to say this right, Muir from Leatherstocking, New York. Good. For Miss Intrigue, we have Linda and Jim Depew from Central New York. Hey, Linda, what number is this for you? 16. 16. 17 is at home. 17 is at home. You see that, people? And 18. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Wow. That's impressive, even to me. All right. So for my dog Judith, we have the Duxton family from Northern Connecticut. For Noya, we have Sarah Bolinsky from Westchester, New York. And this is Sarah's, she was one of the only ones, this is her first dog that she raised and first graduating dog as well. And helping Noya get a great start, we have Ann Walco and Mike. For Walton, we have the Faust family from New Hampshire. Ta-da! It's like winning a beauty pageant. And also for Walton, we have Tony and Lisa Falk from Eastern Massachusetts. They weren't able to be here. You wanted me to take that one? Okay. And then for Yarrow, we have Susan and Jack Eberth from New Hampshire. And they weren't able to be here today. So for our home training graduates, we also want to recognize those raisers as well. And for Barton, we have the Donahue family from Northern New York. Are they here today? Nope. And for Pete, if Emily is watching, I apologize for how I'm going to butcher your last name. Adhimabo? We'll say that works. Yeah, we'll just get a giggle. From Monroe, New York, for Guide Dog Pete. And then finally for Treasure, it was Helen Allison from Cleveland East. Helen here? All right. Excellent. So congratulations, raisers. Now we love to dangle in front of you some tempting fruit. So do we have some little ones? If you look to your right here. Ah, the children are not for sale, but the puppies are. And we have Claire and Arlo being shown off here. Now, these guys might have puppy raisers, but they are going to be available to be hugged and petted down in our grooming room after graduation. So after you get your hands on them, if you then want to talk to me about puppy raising, please come find me. Thank you, guys. They're adorable. So this ends my portion of the day. But again, thank you guys so much. Congratulations, graduates. I know this has been a long journey for you all. And thank you all for being here today. And have a great one.
Thank you so much, Kate. At this time, we're going to present the graduates with some certificates. And I'm going to ask Michelle and Shannon to help me out with this. So I'm just gonna go down the list. We have Alan Lau with Walton. Congratulations, Alan. Brian Switzer with Intrigue. Kathy Beater with Noya. Henry Tucker with Dakota. Christy Snackenberg with Judith. Angela Bambry with Finley. And Tina Witherspoon with Yarrow. And Tom mentioned earlier this is going to be my last class as a class supervisor, and you guys were a wonderful class to go out on. Thank you so much for choosing Guiding Eyes. I think it was Angela who pointed out to me that early on in class, we have, with the 7 people here, we have people getting their first, second, third, fourth, and fifth guide dogs. So it's just a testament to this wonderful organization that people just keep coming back, and that we have it in our mission to keep serving people as long as they're willing to come back. So congratulations to each and every one of you, and thank you for making this class so special. And for some announcements and closing remarks, I'd like to ask Becky Davidson, who is the Manager of Consumer Outreach and Graduate Support for Guiding Eyes for the Blind, to come to the podium. Hey, Becky.
Thanks, Ben, and thanks, everyone. And before I give my brief closing remarks, there's one more presentation to be made. So I believe someone will be getting the mic to graduate Christy.
That'd be me.
That would be you.
Yep.
One more
Sleeping on the
task.
job.
One more task for our Ben.
You ready?
I didn't know I was doing that right
You
now.
can just stay here.
I just want to give a shout out and appreciation to our 2 instructors and our supervisor, Ben, Michelle, and Shannon, and our instructor assistant, second, Deanna. I know her name. Would you guys please come up here? They're there. Whoop. We got some presents for you. We have $10 gift cards from you for Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. We just wanted to thank you guys so much. We really appreciate everything you've done. If it wasn't for you guys, I probably would be at home with my cane right now. So this is my first guide dog. So thank you guys so much. You guys can separate that.
Thanks, Christy. And as a graduate myself, and someone who watches these classes go by each month, I'm continually, thank you, Dakota. I am continually in awe of our training staff, the class trainers, the supervisors, everybody who is involved with bringing these dogs to their graduation and the years that will follow as a member of a team. So it's really meaningful to hear the words of the classes when they do these presentations. The first class of 2016, we only had 1 snowstorm, which is pretty remarkable, right? So yeah, it's a small class, but it's a mighty class, and we're very, very happy to send you off as you begin your new partnership in returning to your life with your new guide dog. And I'm certain that Henry and Alan and Kathy and Angela, along with our fellow graduates out here in the audience and online, watching online, will join me in welcoming Tina and Christy and Brian into the Guiding Eyes family. You all have had a taste of what this family is like, and we're so happy to have you as part of it. And your fellow graduate community wishes you all the best. Stay strong, stay well, and know that you're part of a very supportive group of folks who all of us have the same goal. We all want to just go out there and live our lives to the fullest, accompanied by our guide dogs. So congratulations to all 7 of you and the 3 home training graduates as well. Give yourselves a big hand. You've worked hard. Just a couple of announcements. Before you rush the stage out there in the audience, give the graduates a minute to get their dogs out of harness, if you would. Also, the gift shop, I believe, will be open if you want to look at some souvenir type stuff. And of course, the puppies are down the hall in the grooming room, the canine salon, as we like to call it. And up in the dining room. If you go out here to the left and down to the end of the hall and then make a right up the stairs, there's all kinds of munchies up there. So enjoy some refreshments and some good time hanging out together. And then in about, half an hour, Deanna will call those of you who want to go on a kennel tour and gather you together, and you can go over and see the other 150 dogs who will all assume you've come to visit them personally. It will be great fun. So enjoy your afternoon here at Guiding Eyes. We're so happy to have you all here. Thank you for coming, and have a great weekend.